Hello. Hi everyone. Welcome to a new live stream. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. Hola, ¿cómo están? Espero que estén muy bien. Today we are going to talk about 20 Spanish verbs about love. Okay, so it's gonna be good. It's not only about something romantic. It's also about what you love. It could be, things as well, people. But overall, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about love. Things you love, people you love, verbs that will help you express that in Spanish. Okay, before we get started, don't forget to subscribe and also click on the bell icon so you can get notified every time I live stream. I want to give a big shout out to our Cafecito members, Dale Mitchell, Ruby Brockenberry, Pascal Ennis, Dominic Amore, Christopher Michael, Raymond Sather, William Lopez, David Beaver, KS. Thank you guys for the support. El cafecito está delicioso. Muchas gracias. Okay, so if you like what I do, you can also get a shout out and also support this channel. You only need to click on the join button down below just to check out the membership, the Cafecito membership. It's very cheap. It's pretty much you're just buying me some coffee. I think it's less than $3. So yeah, just check it out and check that out. And also you will read more. If you click on the join button, you can read more about the perks. Excellent. Thank you, Cafecito members. Okay, let's get started. 20 verbs about love. By the way, remember that I'm live streaming, so you can use the live chat to ask questions, to say hola. The only thing that you need to do is you need to subscribe to this channel in order to use the live chat. Okay. 20 verbs about love. Love, el amor, okay? So the first verb, this is the most important verb when talking about love in Spanish. And the verb is amar, okay? Amar means to love. For example, you can say, yo amo a Miguel. Yo amo a Miguel. This means I love Miguel. Okay? So this is the verb amar. Obviously, it's conjugated in present tense. Yo amo. Tú amas. Él ama. Okay? So it's very important to learn this verb if you want to say that, that you love someone. To someone, you can say, for example, a very common phrase in Spanish to say I love you is te amo. Okay? Te amo means I love you. Te amo. Essentially, you're saying yo te amo, but remember, we don't use personal pronouns all the time. But if you want to use this verb, you need to know, quite a few pronouns. You need to know the basic personal pronouns, yo, tú, él, nosotros, ustedes, ellos, vosotros, and so on. And also the ones like me, te, le, okay, nos. And those are different pronouns. They're used, they're called indirect object pronouns. And there's also direct object pronouns. So that's another lesson. Of course, I have actually a few lessons about that. So please feel free to browse my channel. You will find the lesson. Okay, so te amo, I love you. Amar is an important verb and it means to love. Amar, amar. Excellent. Oh, by the way, this is a serious verb. If you want, some people, when they're dating, they wait a little to say, I love you, right? So it's the same with this verb. If you're dating someone, if you if you want to say I love you to that person, this is a verb, but obviously, usually people wait some time to say that. So it's the same with this verb. If you say to someone, te amo, that is a serious, statement. So you should be sure. And when you say this, or when you use this verb, also you can say I love you, te amo, to your parents, your family members, and all of that. So yeah, you can use this verb in those situations as well. But when dating, it's a serious verb for sure. Welcome, que yes. Todos necesitamos amor. That is true. Welcome, and that's a great example. Okay, the next one. Adorar. Adorar. Adorar means to adore, okay? So, for example, I can say, yo adoro a mi amiga. Yo adoro a mi amiga. This means I adore my friend, okay? So the verb adorar is right here. Adorar means to adore. And, if we're talking about, religion, that would be like worship, to worship. But when you are talking about things you love or people you love, you can use adorar, adorar. And it's very similar to the verb to adore, okay? Yo adoro a mi amiga. I adore my friend, okay? So this is a very good, very good verb for sure. Okay, the next one, verb number 3, estar enamorado de. Estar enamorado, or also you could say enamorada. Enamorado is masculine and enamorada is feminine, okay? Estar enamorado de means to be in love with, okay? So you can say, estoy enamorada de ti. Estoy enamorada de ti. And this means I'm in love with you. Of course, this phrase would be said by someone who is female, okay? Estoy enamorada de ti. If you want to say that in a masculine form, you can say estoy enamorado de ti, okay? That means I'm in love with you. I'm in love with you. This is a very intense phrase as well. So yeah, it's very much the translation of to be in love with. Estar enamorado de. If you want to use this verb, this phrase, because it's not technically a verb, it's a phrase, but at the beginning you can see the verb estar. So you need to know the conjugation of this verb estar. Estoy enamorado de ti. You're pretty much using the phrase here, and this is the verb estar. Yo estoy enamorado de ti. Remember, we don't use personal pronouns all the time. That's why it's fine to say estoy enamorado de ti, okay? Without saying yo. Excellent, excellent. Now, that is verb number 3. Now, let's look at the next one. Apreciar, apreciar. Apreciar means to appreciate or to be fond of. Te aprecio mucho. Te aprecio mucho. This means I really appreciate you. Okay? Apreciar. Te aprecio. Yo te aprecio mucho. And this, guys, remember, this is te, and that is a pronoun. Okay? An indirect object pronoun. So you're technically using, you need to use 2 pronouns here. In this situation, yo te aprecio. Oops, my hair. Yo te aprecio mucho. Okay? If you say yo aprecio mucho, that's a different thing. You're saying I appreciate a lot, and that it sounds incomplete, right? So you need to say yo te aprecio mucho. If you appreciate someone, in this case, in this case, you're appreciating, you, or I really appreciate you, but this obviously can change. You can change it to yo les aprecio mucho. Yo les aprecio mucho. And that means I really appreciate you, but this you is plural. Okay? So that's important to know how to use the verb. Actually, yo les aprecio mucho. Yeah, that I appreciate you guys a lot. So this is very interesting that you can change this this pronoun to different pronouns. And yo, let me see if I can use another one. Okay, different pronoun. Well, if you are in Spain, that will be yo os aprecio mucho. And it's the same thing. I really appreciate you guys, plural. And it's very interesting because sometimes I know in Spanish it can be very confusing, like why we're not having the same structure as English does. But it's important to know how to use certain verbs because you need to use sometimes 2 different pronouns, like personal pronouns, like yo, tú, él, nosotros, ustedes, ellos, vosotros as well. And also you need to use other kinds of pronouns like indirect object pronouns. So yeah, it can get tricky. So this one, apreciar, works well with, it uses this structure a lot, sentence structure a lot. Okay. Apreciar means to appreciate or to be fond of. Obviously, you can say os aprecio mucho, and that makes sense too, because you don't have to say yo all the time. Okay, so let's just move on. Of course, guys, if you have any questions, please just let me know. Desear. Desear means to want or to wish. So we have 2 different situations here. Solo deseo hacerte feliz. Solo deseo hacerte feliz. We're using the verb here, deseo. And this means I just want to make you happy. Okay? Hacerte feliz. This is an interesting phrase. and it means to make you happy. Okay? Solo deseo hacerte feliz. I just want to make you happy. Solo means just and also alone or lonely. So it's quite interesting. It's a very versatile word. But desear in this situation means to want. So you just want to do something. You're wishing to do something as well. But, we're talking about verbs that you can use in different situations when expressing love. So desear is a very interesting one. It also means when you want someone physically. So yeah, it's if you say something like te deseo. Let me just put it here. Let me just erase this really quickly. So if you have something like te deseo, you are saying to someone, I want you. Okay? And this is, physically. Because you think that the person is attractive or something, all of that stuff. Okay. Now, the next example, buenas noches, Trila from Manila, welcome. Now we have another phrase, another example using the verb desear. Deseo que tengas un buen viaje. Deseo que tengas un buen viaje. This means I wish you have a good trip. Okay? I wish you have a good trip. Deseo in this situation is about wishing. You are wishing someone a good trip. Okay? Deseo que tengas un buen viaje. And this is a very common phrase to say in Spanish when you are saying goodbye to your friend or to your family member who is going to travel somewhere. You can use this phrase. Deseo que tengas un buen viaje. I wish you have a good trip. Okay, so desear is a very, very versatile, once again, a very versatile, I don't know why I can't pronounce that word right now, but it's a helpful verb when you want to say to want or to wish, okay? The next verb is encantar. Encantar. Encantar means to love, okay? But it's not really a serious verb, You're just saying that you love doing something, or you like something, or you love pretty much, for example, if you love coffee, you can say me encanta el café. Me encanta el café. And this means I love coffee. Okay? Me encanta el café. I love coffee. And once again, we're seeing different pronouns other than the basic ones. Yo, tú, él, nosotros, ustedes, ellos. So yeah, you need to use different pronouns when using encantar. Encantar. Me encanta el café. When you say this, me encanta, this means I love. Okay? Me encanta. And then if you add something else, el café, in this case, that means coffee. I love coffee. You can change this to something else, Me encanta viajar. I love to travel. Okay? So it's, if you want to learn me encanta, or if you want to, memorize this phrase, me encanta, that means I love. Okay? Me encanta. You can also say to someone, me encantas. Okay? Me encantas. That means I love you, but it's not like a serious phrase, you know. You're just saying that you really like this person. So yeah. So it's like saying I like you. I like you, I love you, but it's not as serious as te amo, okay? Excellent. Verb number 7. Estimar. Estimar. Estimar means to be fond of. For example, Miguel estima mucho a María. Miguel estima mucho a María. This means Miguel is very fond of María. Okay? So, estima means to be fond of. Okay? To be fond of. In this case, Miguel, you know, is very fond of María. Estima. Yo estimo a María. Tú estimas a María. Okay? So, yeah, it's a very good verb for sure. Okay, the next one. Gustar. Gustar means to like. For example, by the way, this verb is very, very basic and it's very useful as well. If you like anything, you can use this verb because this verb is very, very similar to the verb to like in English. Okay? For example, I can say, me gusta cantar. Me gusta cantar. I like to sing. Okay? That is the meaning of gustar. And it's really, I don't think you need to use the verb yo. For example, we're talking about I like to sing, right? So if I change this to yo gusta cantar, that makes no sense whatsoever. So you need to use the pronoun me. Me gusta cantar. Okay? If you put te gusta cantar. You like to sing. Okay? So usually this verb works, most of the times, this verb works with the pronouns me, te, also le, nos, os, le. Okay? So keep that in mind. You won't see something like tú gusta cantar. This doesn't make any sense. Te gusta cantar. You like to sing. Okay? Me gusta cantar. I like to sing. Okay? Oops. I like to sing. Okay? So that's very important to pay attention to. How to use the verb, which, you know, sometimes you need different pronouns, you know? Okay. The next one, guys. Verb number 9. Querer. Querer means to love, to like, or to want. So you can say, te quiero mucho. Te quiero mucho. And this means I love / like you a lot. Now, if you say this to someone, if you're dating and you say this to the person you're dating, it's not a serious I love you, you know, not like amar. Amar is a serious verb. This one is more like saying I love you, but it's not like an intense I love you. So it's okay to say it. I love you, te quiero mucho, or, you know, also it means I like you a lot. So it's a very soft I love you. Okay. So also This verb is used if you want to say something like quiero un café. Quiero un café. This means I want coffee, you know, or a cup of coffee. Quiero un café. So you can say that, or you can also say quiero café, and that is like the literal translation of I want coffee. Quiero café. I want coffee. So querer can be used if you want to say, you know, I like someone or I love someone, or also if you want something. In this case, a coffee. So that's interesting. Very interesting. Now the next verb, guys, is valorar. Valorar. Valorar means to value or to appreciate. Valoro todo lo que haces. Valoro todo lo que haces. Valoro in this situation means I value or appreciate everything you do. Todo lo que haces. Everything you do. So yes, this is just to show, I mean, this verb is used if you want to express appreciation or that you value someone. Okay? So it's a good one. Valorar. Valorar. Okay, the next one. The next one is apetecer. Apetecer means to feel like. You feel like something. Okay? And this verb is often used in Spain. So remember the C pronunciation, apetecer, apetecer, which is, you know, from Spain, that kind of accent, and that means to feel like. But remember that this verb is understood in all Latin America, and so don't worry about just using this in Spain. You can use it in Latin America as well. Me apetece comer unos tacos. Me apetece or apetece comer unos tacos. And this means I feel like eating tacos. So once again, remember this pronoun here. If you say me apetece, that means I feel like. Okay? If you want to say you feel like, te apetece comer unos tacos. You feel like eating tacos. So keep that in mind, that you can use these kinds of pronouns with apetecer. You can also say yo apetezco, okay, comer unos tacos. But that's different conjugation. Yo apetezco comer unos tacos. Okay? So that means I feel like eating tacos. So there's two different ways to use this verb. So you can use different pronouns with apetecer. Apetecer. Okay, any questions? I see KS is saying something. Si conozco a una mujer por primera vez, no usaría la palabra amor al principio porque quiero ver si hay química. Yeah, that's a good advice, KS. And thanks for sharing. Okay, apetecer. Remember that. It means to feel like. Now, tener cariño a. Tener cariño a, that means to be fond of, again, to be fond of or to love. For example, I could say, le tengo cariño a mi perro. Le tengo cariño a mi perro. This means I'm fond of, or you love, or I love my dog. That's what it means. Le tengo cariño a mi perro. So, tener cariño means to be fond of or love. Remember that you need to know the conjugation of the verb tener. Yo tengo, or in this case, yo le tengo cariño. And so on. Tú tienes, él tiene, nosotros tenemos, and so on. Okay. The next one. Ser un apasionado de. Ser un apasionado de. This is a very long phrase, but it also has a verb at the beginning. So you need to know the conjugation of this verb, ser, the most basic Spanish verb, ser, and also the verb estar. But in this situation, you only need the conjugation of this verb, ser. Ser un apasionado de. Or that's masculine because you're saying apasionado. But you can also say apasionada. And that means, the same thing. To be passionate about. But this one is feminine. Feminine apasionada. Masculine apasionado. To be passionate about. For example, soy un apasionado de. So technically you're using the phrase here. Soy un apasionado de, and then la comedia. Soy un apasionado de la comedia. And this means I'm passionate about comedy. Okay? So you can change technically de la comedia, not just la comedia. You can change it to soy un apasionado de la comida. I'm passionate about food. Okay? So you're saying that you love or enjoy eating or enjoy food. Or the previous example, you love comedy. You're really passionate about comedy. So this is a very good phrase to use. For sure. Now, verb number 14, disfrutar. Disfrutar. Disfrutar means to enjoy. For example, you can say, disfruto mucho viajar. Disfruto mucho viajar. This means I enjoy traveling a lot. Okay? Disfruto mucho viajar, or yo disfruto mucho viajar. That means, once again, I enjoy traveling a lot. Disfrutar is a very good verb if you want to say to enjoy, when you're enjoying something. So this is a very good verb. I recommend you learn, all of these verbs, but this one is a very good one. Oh, Diogo José Teixeira da Silva do Massarelos. Thank you so much for the donation. Muchas gracias por esta lección, por esta útil lección gratuita. Thank you so much, Diogo. I appreciate the donation, and I'm glad that you're enjoying this lesson. Estás disfrutando esta lección. Qué bueno que estás disfrutando esta lección. Thank you. KS, la música y aprender español es mi pasión. That's a great example too. Thank you for sharing, KS. Okay, now let's move on, guys. Let's learn the next verb. We're almost done, actually. We are almost done. Verb number 15, respetar. Respetar. Respetar means to respect or to show respect. Okay? For example, hay que respetar a los ancianos. Hay que respetar a los ancianos. This means you should show respect for the elderly. Okay, so you should respect the elderly. So respetar, I mean, I wanted to include this verb because it's a good one. And when you love someone, or you like someone, you show respect as well. So this one is a very good verb, respetar, and it's pretty much the translation of the verb respect, to respect, or to show respect. Yo respeto, tú respetas, él respeta. Okay, so this is a good verb that means to respect. Excellent. The next one, complacer. Complacer. Complacer means to please. Okay? For example, me complace ayudarte. Me complace ayudarte. And this means it pleases me to help you, or I'm glad to help you. Similar to that phrase. Complacer usually, you use it if you want to please someone. Okay? Me complace ayudarte. It pleases me to help you, or I'm glad to help you in this situation. Okay, excellent. Complacer. Now, gozar. Gozar means to enjoy. Disfrutar and gozar are very, very similar, and those verbs mean to enjoy. For example, gozamos mucho en la fiesta. Gozamos mucho en la fiesta. We enjoyed ourselves a lot at the party. So gozar means to enjoy yourself or oneself. You're pretty much having a good time when you feel, like using this verb, gozamos. Gozamos mucho en la fiesta. We enjoyed ourselves a lot at the party. Gozar. Yo gozo. Tú gozas. Él goza. Nosotros gozamos. So another example could be, just one sec, I'm going to erase this. I could say, yo estoy gozando las vacaciones. Okay, yo estoy gozando las vacaciones. So this is similar to saying I'm enjoying the holidays, or the vacation that you might be taking. In this case, I'm enjoying the vacation or the holidays. So I'm just gonna put vacation. It's more a literal translation. I'm enjoying the vacation. Yo estoy gozando las vacaciones. So it's a very good verb to say that you're enjoying something. Verb number 18, deleitarse. Deleitarse. Deleitarse means to enjoy or to take pleasure in. Me deleito viendo el paisaje. Me deleito viendo el paisaje. This means I enjoy looking at the landscape or at the view. Okay? So, deleitarse is a more complex enjoy in Spanish, to enjoy in Spanish. The most basic ones is disfrutar, gozar. But another way to say, that you're enjoying something, it's by, using the verb deleitarse. Deleitarse. So it's a more advanced verb to use, but essentially you're saying to enjoy or to take pleasure in. Me deleito. Okay, remember this works also with other pronouns. Yo me deleito, tú te deleitas, okay? So keep that in mind. It's a more complex verb to use. You need more things to if you want to use this verb in a sentence. Diogo, me acabo de unir a tu Discord server también. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Welcome to the Spanish community on Discord. By the way, I have a Spanish community on Discord. It's free to join, so if you want to do that, please just click on the link in the video description down below. But please read the rules before joining that community. That's important. Okay, now the next verb, or in this case phrase number 19. Okay. Estar infatuado. Estar infatuado. This means to be infatuated. I mean, it happens, right? When we talk about love, this happens. You might be infatuated with someone. So the phrase you need is estar infatuado. Remember the conjugation of the verb estar if you want to use this phrase. For example, I could say, estoy infatuado con él. Okay? If you're a male or if you identified as male, you can say this, estoy infatuado con él. If you want to use the feminine form, you can say infatuada. Estoy infatuada con él. And that means I'm infatuated with him. Okay, so remember that the masculine form is infatuado, the feminine form infatuada. Okay, it's important to remember the feminine and masculine. Sometimes you need to pay attention to that. Okay, now the last one, guys, the last verb / phrase. Estar obsesionado. Estar obsesionado means to be obsessed. Okay, obsesionado is masculine, obsesionada is feminine. So yeah, that means to be obsessed. If you're obsessed with something, I mean, it's not healthy to be obsessed with someone. But sometimes you you are obsessed with a song, with, I don't know, with music, with, well, song and music, pretty much the same thing, with, I don't know, any hobby that you enjoy doing. You can use this phrase for that. Estar obsesionada, estar obsesionado. For example, estoy obsesionada con esa canción. Estoy obsesionada con esa canción. This means I'm obsessed with that song. Okay? Canción means song. Con esa, con, remember that means with. Esa, that. And we're saying esa because canción is feminine. La canción. Esa canción. Okay? The masculine form would be ese. And I could say carro. Okay? Estoy obsesionada con ese carro. I'm obsessed with that car. Okay? So it's important to pay attention to how the sentence is, working. Am I using masculine, feminine? You need to pay attention to the grammatical gender of nouns. And then when you have a masculine noun, you need masculine adjectives, masculine articles. If the noun is feminine, you need feminine articles, feminine adjectives. So pay attention to that. It's very important. Okay. Excellent. So remember, estar obsesionada or obsesionado means to be obsessed with something. Okay? Very, very interesting phrase for sure. Do you have any questions, guys? We learned 20 different verbs that will help you express love in Spanish. Sea of Platitudes. Estoy obsesionado con los detalles de la gramática española. That's a great example. So that's great. Awesome. It's perfect as well. So thanks for sharing Sea of Platitudes. Okay, so that is it, guys. That is it. We learned quite a few verbs, and I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Thank you again, Diogo, for the donation. Sorry, I kind of forgot the word donation for some reason. But yeah, thank you again, Diogo. Diogo says, estoy obsesionado por los diferentes acentos en español de cada país. Estoy obsesionado con los diferentes acentos en español de cada país. That's awesome. That is awesome. Great example, Diogo. That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, every country has a different accent. And even within the country, you can find different accents as well. So it's very, very interesting, all of that for sure. Okay, so yeah, that is it. I hope you learned interesting things, interesting words, Spanish words, and practice. You please practice and try using all the verbs. If you want to practice, of course, you can use the Spanish community on Discord. Once again, the link is in the video description down below. Also, if you liked this lesson, please give it a like. That helps me a lot. And also, if you want to support this channel even more, you can check out the membership, the Cafecito membership. So yeah, you can become a member on this channel. You only need to click on the join button down below. Hello, Tina Sharina. I love that emoji. It's really good. Okay, well, have a lovely evening, morning, night, wherever you are. And I hope it's almost, today is Tuesday. I thought it was Friday for some reason, but I usually live stream every Tuesday. So if you don't want to miss out my live streams, just, click on that, click that notification bell icon next to the subscribe button. That way YouTube will notify you every time I live stream. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe, of course. Diogo, gracias por corregirme. Oh, you had a great phrase there, but yeah, just a minor thing, just a minor correction, but your Spanish is really good, Diogo. Okay, excellent. Take care. Nos vemos a la próxima. Adiós. Bye-bye.